If you love French country and Christmas, you're going to love this French country Christmas DIY video. We're going to transform ordinary thrifted items using paint, molds, and transfers into stunning Christmas decorations. My name is Emily. I'm with J. Bowen & Company. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. The first project is this oversized plastic ornament that I picked up along with multiple other ones many years ago. We're going to make it over using this St. Nick mold. This is one of the newest molds from the new IOD release. We're going to dust it with some cornstarch, and then we're going to take out the air dry clay. I would suggest using resin with this mold. However, because I'm putting it on a curved surface, I wanted to use the air dry clay. It ended up using probably around 2/3 a package of the air dry clay. Right now, I just took it out of the package. I'm just rolling it up and I'm warming it up a little bit. And now I just took the entire piece of clay. I stuffed it into the mold, and now I'm just removing all of the excess. After I get removed, I'm then taking out my brayer and I'm just rolling it to get it flat, and then I'm going to take all the excess around the edges off. Now you see that beautiful St. Nick mold, and I'm just going to rub the edges with my hand to try to remove that excess clay. I'm going to apply this casting to the ornament with some Tite Bond Quick and Thick. There it is. I just applied it, and then I'm going to feather it out to make sure that there is glue on this entire piece. I'm now going to press it directly to the ornament to make sure that it's completely adhered to this piece, or you don't want any space between your clay and your ornament. I decided to go ahead and cast the little hollies that are alongside of the St. Nick mold and then apply them to the top of the ornament. I'm now going to glue those little bitty hollies right there on the top, and then we're going to take out the color Layered Chocolate from DIY Paint, and we're going to paint this entire piece with 2 coats of Layered Chocolate. DIY Paint is a clay-based paint, and it can be reactivated with water, so you're going to need to seal your DIY paint. I ended up painting this entire piece 2 different times. I painted it on a live. Some of you guys might have caught that. We had a lot of fun on that live. And then after I get 2 complete coats of the DIY paint, here you go, I'm going to take my Big Top and I'm going to cover this piece in Big Top. It is a sealer. It's going to seal in this DIY paint, and then I'm going to let it dry completely. Make sure that you stir up your paint and your sealers really good so that you make sure that they get mixed up. You can see how it turned a white color right there. That's because I went back and I stirred it up. Now I'm coming back in with the DIY white wax, and we're going to cover the entire piece. I did let that Big Top dry completely first before I'm applying this white wax. So you would just want to make sure that you're getting all those crevices and creases, because this is going to be one of the highlights of this piece. This is where we're going to take this piece from just a chocolate brown color to more of an old world look. Now, if you don't have an ornament or something like this to make over, you can use this same technique on any other kind of project that you desire to get this old world look. After you get it completely covered with the white wax, you're then going to take a paper towel and you're going to wipe back the white wax. You can leave more wax on if you want it to look whiter, or if you want some of that white to come off, you can wipe it with a wet wipe. I really like how all the texture is starting to show up. So whatever kind of piece that you are working on, it's going to enhance any kind of texture or defects or whatever you have in your piece, but I like to call that character. I'm now going to take out some of the dark dust from DIY. The dust comes in 2 different colors, the dark or the warm, which is more of a rusty color. I'm just going to sprinkle it on, use that same brush to rub it in. You could also use a dry brush as well, and then we're going to wipe some of it off. It's going to grunge up this piece and give it that really cool French country old world look. I really love how this large Christmas ornament was transformed from just a shiny kind of outdated ornament to a really beautiful new work of art that looks like something that you would find in the French countryside. My son is actually over in France right now. That's what inspired this video, and I'll share some photos of his trip with you just here in just a minute. But I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit more white wax, wipe it off, and I'm using a Clorox wet wipe. We're just going to wipe a little bit more off to just enhance some of the detail. And that's it, guys. Y'all let me know what you think of this gorgeous ornament. Let me know if you like how it turned out. And if you like it, y'all hit that like button and consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. Here's my son Reed, my brother Quentin, and our French friend David right there in one of these gorgeous French villages. They were touring all over the place and having the best time. I really wish I was there, but you know, we'll settle for a French country video. The next project will be using a thrifted wooden frame, a hymnal sheet, and a transfer from the Santa's Hollow transfer set. I recommend picking up frames that don't have the glass or the back because usually they're very cheap, and you can easily use a piece of cardboard and you can decoupage something on the cardboard and have a really great piece of art. So the first thing I did was I cut a piece of cardboard, I decoupaged that hymnal sheet to it, and now I'm using this gorgeous Santa image from that Santa's Hollow transfer set. I thought that this looked beautiful. I thought it would be a very good transfer to make a little piece of art. If you've never used one of the transfers from IOD, they're very easy. You're just going to take off that backing, place it down, use that little transfer stick, and then adhere it to your project. I thought that I wanted to change the color of the frame. It just wasn't really doing it for me, so I took out some weathered wood and I just did a wash with it. I dipped my paintbrush into some water, and then I also added a little bit of the layered chocolate from DIY, and then I just wiped it off just to give it a little bit darker color. It dried, and then because it's DIY paint, it does need to be sealed. I'm going to warm up this frame just a little bit more and seal up the paint with some aging wax from Fusion. Here you go. Here's that aging wax. I'm just going to apply it onto the frame, wipe it back. This was a super easy project. I'm going to go ahead and wipe away the excess wax, and then I'm going to apply some aging wax to the artwork. If you're interested in purchasing any of these products that you've seen in the video, the paints, the molds, the transfers, or any of the supplies, you can find them over in the description. There'll be a link to my website. Y'all, here is that gorgeous piece of art. Y'all let me know what you think of this project. I pulled this simple rolling pin out of my personal stash and I decided that I would give it a French country makeover that can be used at Christmas or any time thereafter. I'm using the color Fort York Red, and I'm going to go ahead and paint both handles in this beautiful red color. I stocked up on all my reds and greens in Fusion paint and in DIY paint just for you guys so that there would be plenty in stock just in time for your Christmas crafting. So don't forget to check out the Fusion paint as well. After these handles dried completely, I'm then going to use one of my favorite products from Fusion Mineral Paint, and it's called the Stain and Finishing Oil. This is a really amazing top coat that you can use over paint washes or on raw wood. After you open up this product, you want to make sure that you stir it very well because some of it will have settled at the bottom of the can. This product comes in a variety of colors as well as a clear. That's the natural color. So what you're going to do, it's very easy to apply. I've applied it to furniture, on top of washes, on raw wood, all kinds of things. So this is the color white. So what we're going to do is we're just going to paint this on or apply it onto the rolling pin, and then after it's applied, we're going to wipe it back, and it's just going to give it just a really beautiful color to this rolling pin. Now this will be a decorative rolling pin only, but that's all right. It's going to turn out very beautiful, and it'll be a really nice rolling pin to display at Christmas time or year round. Initially, I was just going to place it on the rolling pin, but then I thought, what the heck, let's go ahead and put it over those handles too, and it'll just kind of whitewash it and just give it a different kind of look. And I really like how it ended up turning out. Just kind of tones it down a little bit, gives it a little bit of an older aged look, so not just so much in your face red, although I do love that beautiful shade of Fort York red. Once you wipe off the excess stain and finishing oil, you just let it dry, and then it will be completely sealed and ready to go, same as if you put it on top of furniture. If you're still watching this video, please leave me a heart emoji. Y'all, look at all of these beautiful projects. Y'all let me know which one is your favorite. And now for the bonus projects. I'm finally getting to play around with the red ink. It's called Tomato from IOD. If you haven't picked up any of the red ink, it's beautiful for this time of year. I stocked up on the red ink, the green ink, and then all of the other colors. So y'all go check the different inks out. You don't want to miss out on your chance to get some of this in time for all of your Christmas crafting. Last week on one of my lives, I painted all of these different bookmarks in various colors. It was a creamy white. The two different reds are from Rethunk Junk, and then I believe it's clay from Alchemy. We're going to take that red ink and we're just going to make some really cute bookmarks. You could also use these as ornaments. This is the Christmas Wishes stamp set. This is one of the new stamp sets from the new IOD release. I love all of the stamps from the new release. If you haven't checked out those stamps sets, you really need to. If you've never played around with stamps, they are really easy. They're really fun and they're very versatile. You can use them over and over and over. I have a lot of videos using stamps, but we're just going to play around right now. We're going to make some bookmarks. And you can see how I'm just using that brayer. I'm rolling it onto the stamp. I'm pressing it down, and y'all look at these gorgeous images. I have a lot of different choices for different stamp sets. So if you wanted to make some of these bookmarks using regular stamps, like stamps that are not seasonal, I have a lot of just not seasonal stamps as well, all kinds of things. But look how fun these bookmarks are to make. They would be really fun to make for gifts or to sell if you have a booth, or to make with your children or grandchildren. Really any family member or friends. Most people have fun making these bookmarks. You can also use some of the transfers from any of your transfer sets. This Santa's Hollow has some really pretty holly ones that you can use. But any of the transfer sets that you have, you can use to make any kind of bookmarks that you would like to make. I also had some of these manila tags, and you can stamp them up too. They make a really classy looking tag for Christmas, and then people can keep them if they want to as a little ornament if they choose. I've also seen people, since I made my own stamps, after I made my own stamps for this video, I saw some people were tea staining the tags, and if you want to do that as well, that just adds a whole nother vintagey look. But if you don't want to, they look great as is. But wouldn't they look pretty just on like a gift or just a brown craft bag? I think they would look really good to enhance any of your Christmas crafting. So unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to finish embellishing all of these. Maybe I'll do them on another video, but you get the hint. You see how you can just jazz up any of these gift tags or these manila tags, I don't even know what you call those things, or any of your bookmarks, and they look really great. And depending on what color ink you use, it gets just a totally different look. If you're in the mood for more thrift flip videos, there'll be some for you to choose from right there on the screen, and I'll talk to you guys in the comments.